Unfortunately, the presidential address was a long list of things that the government claims to have done, but didn't really contain the deeper strategic issues that we would have liked to see. Also, the presidential address didn't touch a couple of central challenges facing our country. And that's what I would like to discuss today. To me, it seemed that the presidential address was a list of bureaucratic ideas instead of a strategic vision. It looked to me as if it had been constructed not by a vision of leadership, but by a group of bureaucrats who had simply to put something down on paper. So what did the presidential address miss? What did the presidential address not speak about? What did the presidential address hide from the people of India? I think there are three fundamental things that were not spoken about in the presidential address. The first, and what I consider to be the most important, is the idea that there are now two Indias. There is now no longer one India. There are two Indias. One India is for the extremely rich people, for those who have immense wealth, for those who have immense power, for those who do not need a job, for those who do not need water connections, electricity connections, but for those who control the heartbeat of the country. And then another India. Another India.
आपके जब नेता बोलेंगे ना, फिर हम भी वो खड़े होंगे उस समय।
एक बात करने दीजिए। ये प्रेसिडेंशियल एड्रेस की एक गरिमा होते हैं।
जब आपके प्रवक्ता बोले थे, कोई भी नहीं खड़ा हुआ यहाँ तक।
इस गरिमा को मद्देनजर ये चर्चा करना चाहिए। नेता सत्ता पक्ष का भी है, नेता विपक्ष का भी है। हमारे नेता भी बोल रहे हैं, समय हमें दिया गया, इस सूची में हम बोल रहे हैं। अगर आप ये चाहें कि हमारे नेता को बोलने में बाधा डाले जाए, तो मौका हमारे भी आएंगे। आपको नेता जब यहाँ बोलने उठेंगे, हम भी इस तरह की बाधा डालेंगे। ये आपको समझा रहे हैं, चेतावनी दे रहे हैं। ऐसा नहीं, हम लोग डरे हुए नहीं है, हम अपना बात रखना चाहते हैं, अधिकार है हमारा।
प्लीज नो प्लीज बैठिए, बोलने सभी
अध्यक्ष महोदय।
And for my friends in the government, I want to make it clear that the spirit of what I'm saying is not one of criticism. The spirit with which I speak is one of discomfort with the state of our country. And the spirit with which I speak is one where I am worried about what is happening to the country. So you must not take it as a criticism. Take it as a citizen of the country who is concerned about what is going on. धन्यवाद। तो दो हिंदुस्तान बन रहे हैं, एक अमीरों का हिंदुस्तान और दूसरा गरीबों का हिंदुस्तान। और इन दो हिंदुस्तानों के बीच में खाई बढ़ती जा रही है। आपने अभी देखा होगा, अभी दो स्पीकर्स ने बात की, मगर आपने ये नहीं कहा कि रोजगार ढूंढने के लिए उत्तर प्रदेश में, बिहार में रेलवे की नौकरी के लिए वहां पे युवाओं ने क्या किया और क्या हुआ, इसके बारे में आपने नहीं बोला। गरीब हिंदुस्तान के पास आज रोजगार नहीं है। प्रेसिडेंशियल एड्रेस में बेरोजगारी के बारे में एक शब्द नहीं था। और पूरे हिंदुस्तान में आज हिंदुस्तान का युवा रोजगार ढूंढ रहा है। हर स्टेट में, उत्तर प्रदेश, बिहार, सब जगह हिंदुस्तान का युवा एक ही चीज मांग रहा है, रोजगार हमें दे दो। और आपकी सरकार नहीं दे पा रही। आपको मैं आंकड़ा देना चाहता हूं। इस पिछले साल 3 करोड़ युवा रोजगार खोए हैं। आप बात करते हो रोजगार देने की। 2021 में 3 करोड़ युवा रोजगार खोए हैं। 50 साल से सबसे ज्यादा बेरोजगारी आज हिंदुस्तान में है। आपने मेक इन इंडिया की बात की, स्टार्टअप इंडिया की बात की, मगर जो रोजगार हमें, हमारे युवाओं को मिलना चाहिए वो नहीं मिला, और जो था वो गायब हो गया। और ये सच्चाई है, और इस सच्चाई को आप भी पहचानते हो, क्योंकि आपने भी अपने भाषणों में रोजगार के बारे में कुछ नहीं कहा। कितना रोजगार पैदा किया गया है, किस प्रकार किया गया है, उसके बारे में आपने नहीं बोला, और आप बोल भी नहीं पाएंगे, क्योंकि अगर आप बोलेंगे तो हिंदुस्तान का युवा आपकी ओर देख के कहेगा कि ये मजाक कर रहे हैं। तो ये स्थिति पैदा कैसे हुई? ये दो हिंदुस्तान पैदा कैसे हुए? रोजगार स्मॉल और मीडियम इंडस्ट्री और जो हमारा इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर है उधर बनता है। लाखों करोड़ रुपया आपने उनसे छीनकर हिंदुस्तान के सबसे बड़े अरबपतियों को दिलवा दिया। आपने पिछले 7 साल में अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर और स्मॉल और मीडियम इंडस्ट्री पर एक के बाद एक आक्रमण किया है। 7 की कर रहा हूं, मैं 60 की भी करूंगा। मैं अपने भाषण में अंत में 60 साल की बात करूंगा आपको खुश करने के लिए। आप ठहर जाइए। मगर असंगठित जो सेक्टर है उस पर आपने आक्रमण किया। कैसे किया? नोटबंदी, गलत जीएसटी और कोरोना के समय जो सपोर्ट उनको देना था आपने नहीं दिया। नतीजा क्या हुआ? नतीजा यह हुआ कि आज 84% हिंदुस्तान के लोगों की आमदनी घटी है और वो तेजी से गरीबी की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं। यूपीए की सरकार ने, आपने पूछा 60 साल की बात आपने कही, यूपीए की सरकार ने 23 करोड़ लोगों को गरीबी से निकाला था 10 साल में। हमारा आंकड़ा नहीं है, हमारा आंकड़ा नहीं है, हमारा आंकड़ा नहीं है।
सब जानते,
आप हंसिए, हमारा आंकड़ा नहीं है, यह सच्चा आंकड़ा है। 27 करोड़ लोगों को हमने गरीबी से निकाला था और 23 करोड़ लोगों को आपने गरीबी में वापस डाल दिया।
सेम।
और हो क्या रहा है? फॉर्मल सेक्टर में मोनोपोलीज बन रही हैं। किसी भी आप सेक्टर में देखिए, और सबसे 2 मोनोपोलिस्ट के बारे में थोड़ा सा बोलूंगा। उसको वो कोरोना के समय अलग अलग वेरिएंट्स आते हैं ना, डेल्टा, ओमिक्रॉन, वो डबल ए वेरिएंट है और वो पूरा का पूरा हिंदुस्तान की जो अर्थव्यवस्था है उसके अंदर फैल रहा है। आपने बात उठाई तो मैं उसके बारे में पहले बोल देता हूं। एक व्यक्ति को, नाम नहीं लूंगा, एक व्यक्ति को हिंदुस्तान के सब पोर्ट्स, ब्रांड का नाम अडानी ब्रांड है वो, ब्रांड, हिंदुस्तान के सब पोर्ट्स, हिंदुस्तान के सब एयरपोर्ट, पावर, ट्रांसमिशन, माइनिंग, ग्रीन एनर्जी, गैस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, एडिबल ऑयल, जो भी हिंदुस्तान में होता है उधर अदानी जी दिखाई देते हैं। और दूसरी साइड अंबानी जी पेट्रोकेमिकल्स, टेलीकॉम, रिटेल, ई कॉमर्स में मोनोपोलियां। तो पूरा का पूरा धन जो है चुने हुए लोगों के हाथ में जा रहा है। और आपने जो असंगठित सेक्टर को खत्म किया, देखिए अगर आप इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर को खत्म कर देते और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग जॉब्स आप क्रिएट कर देते तो फिर इतनी प्रॉब्लम नहीं आती, फिर दो हिंदुस्तान नहीं बनते। मगर आपने क्या किया? आपने असंगठित सेक्टर को खत्म कर दिया। नोटबंदी, जीएसटी, कोरोना, सारे के सारे जो स्मॉल और मीडियम बिजनेसेस हैं उनको आपने बंद कर दिया। बोलने दीजिए, बोलने दीजिए। सारे के सारे जो स्मॉल एंड मीडियम इंडस्ट्री है आपने उसको खत्म कर दिया, नष्ट कर दिया। अगर आप उनकी मदद करते और अगर आप उनकी मदद करते, उनको सपोर्ट देते, तो फिर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर तैयार हो सकता था। मगर जो लोग आपका मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर बना सकते थे उनको आपने खत्म कर दिया। तो आज हिंदुस्तान में आप मेड इन इंडिया, मेड इन इंडिया, मेड इन इंडिया की बात करते रहते हो। मेड इन इंडिया हो ही नहीं सकता। आज बात खत्म हो गई है, क्योंकि मेड इन इंडिया वाले हैं कौन? मेड इन इंडिया वाले स्मॉल मीडियम वाले हैं, उनको आपने खत्म कर दिया। मेड इन इंडिया वाले कौन है? असंगठित लोग हैं, उनको आपने खत्म कर दिया, हटा दिया, परे कर दिया। मेड इन इंडिया नहीं होने वाला है। अरे भाई, मेड इन इंडिया करने के लिए, मेड इन इंडिया करने के लिए स्मॉल और मीडियम इंडस्ट्री को ही बड़ा करना पड़ेगा। बिना स्मॉल और मीडियम इंडस्ट्री को सपोर्ट दिए मेड इन इंडिया हो ही नहीं सकता है। और अगर आप पूछते हैं तो मैं आपको बताता हूं, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग जॉब्स की अगर हम बात करें तो मेरे पास आंकड़ा है यहां पे, पिछले 5 साल में मैन्युफैक्चरिंग जॉब्स 46% कम हुए हैं। 46% drop in manufacturing jobs in India. Why? Because you have destroyed the unorganized sector. Why? Because you have destroyed MSMEs. That is why you are focusing completely on 5 or 10 people. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with big industry. Focus on them. But please realize that they cannot produce jobs for you. Small and medium industry is the only people who can produce jobs for you. That is the reality. और हो क्या रहा है? दो हिंदुस्तान बन रहे हैं। आप यहां पे भाषण देते रहते हो, नया हिंदुस्तान, न्यू इंडिया, मेक इन इंडिया, और कौन से नारे हैं? स्टार्टअप इंडिया। आप ये बोलते रहते हो और देश में बेरोजगारी फैलती जा रही है। और आप ये मत सोचिए कि ये जो गरीब हिंदुस्तान है जिसको आप बना रहे हैं, ये मत सोचिए कि ये चुप बैठा रहेगा। ये मत सोचिए कि ये चुप बैठा रहेगा। ये चुप नहीं बैठा रहेगा। इस हिंदुस्तान को सब कुछ दिख रहा है। इस हिंदुस्तान को दिख रहा है कि आज, सुनिए, इन लोगों को दिख रहा है कि आज, ये आंकड़ा आप सुनिए, ये आपकी सरकार की देन है, ये आंकड़ा अच्छी तरह सुनिए। इस गरीब हिंदुस्तान को दिख रहा है कि आज हिंदुस्तान के 100 सबसे अमीर लोगों के पास हिंदुस्तान के 55 करोड़ लोगों से ज्यादा जायदाद है। बात समझिए, 10 लोगों के पास 40% हिंदुस्तान से ज्यादा धन है, 10 लोगों के पास। ये कैसे हुआ? ये आपने किया, ये नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने किया। और तो मैं आपको एक सुझाव देता हूं, प्रधानमंत्री जी को आपको सुझाव देता हूं, ये जो दो आप हिंदुस्तान आप बना रहे हैं, इन दो हिंदुस्तानों को जोड़ने का काम जल्दी से शुरू कीजिए। स्मॉल एंड मीडियम इंडस्ट्रीज की मदद करना शुरू कीजिए। जो हमारे बेरोजगार युवाएं हैं उनकी मदद कीजिए। और ये जो आप पूरा का पूरा धन इन्हीं 5-10 लोगों को दे रहे हो, क्योंकि ये आपकी मार्केटिंग करते हैं, आपको टीवी, व्हाट्सएप, फेसबुक पे लगाते हैं, ये काम आप बंद कीजिए, नहीं तो देश का नुकसान होगा। आपका नहीं, देश का नुकसान होगा। तो पहला मेरा सुझाव यह है, नंबर 2 और नंबर 3 भी है, अभी आएगा वो। और वो जो आपने 60 साल की बात कही थी, वो नंबर 3 में आएगा। Now, I'd like to speak. There are
आप तो
now there are two competing visions of this country, which is frankly the main difference between us and them. If you read the Constitution of India, you will find, and many of my colleagues who have not read it should look at it, you will find that India is described as a union of states. India is not described as a nation, it is described as a union of states. What does that mean? That means my brother from Tamil Nadu has to have the same right as my brother from Maharashtra, as my sister from Maharashtra, as my brother from Uttar Pradesh, as my brother from Bihar, as my sister from Manipur, Nagaland, Mizoram. That's what it means. What it means, Jammu Kashmir, of course, Jammu Kashmir, Nagaland, of course, Andaman Nicobar, of course. That is Lakshadweep. Now what is the difference? You have to understand this. This is a serious matter. I would like to have your view on it. And I would like this Parliament House to start serious discussions instead of the type of discussions that we're having. That is why it is serious. It is serious, and I would like a serious response. Right? What I heard, frankly, what I heard in the first address today was not serious. What I heard Mr. Dwivedi say was not serious. It did not behoove this House. It was not at the standard that this House should be used to. It is not at the standard that India should watch. Now, let me come back to the discussion. Let me come back to the discussion, Speaker Sir. There are two visions. There are two visions of this country. One vision that it is a union of states, meaning it is a negotiation, meaning it is a conversation, meaning I go to my brother in Tamil Nadu and I say, what do you want? And he says, this is what I want. And then he asks me, what do you want? And I say, this is what I want. It is a partnership. It is not a kingdom. Remember that. You will never, ever in your entire life rule over the people of Tamil Nadu. It cannot be done. You will never, ever in your life rule over these other people. Please listen to what I'm saying.
आप पहले बैठाइए।
No matter what fantasies you might have, you will never ever rule over the people of the states of India. It has never been done in 3,000 years. Never ever. The only way India has been ruled, and you can look at any empire you want. You can look at Ashoka the Great. You can look at the Mauryas, you can look at the Guptas, you can look at anyone you want. It has always been ruled by conversation and negotiation. Now, what is the problem? The problem is you people are confused. The problem is you people think that these languages, these cultures, these histories, you think that you can suppress them. You have no idea of history. You have no idea what you are dealing with. Because the people of Tamil Nadu have inside their heart the idea of Tamil Nadu, the idea of the Tamil language, and then also the idea of India. Do not be confused. The people of Kerala have the idea of, I am telling you the truth. The people of Kerala have a culture. I am now a member of Parliament of Kerala, I understand it slightly better. They have a culture, they have a dignity, they have a history. The people, like the gentleman said, the people of Rajasthan have a culture, have a history, have a tradition, have a language. They have a way of life. This is like a bouquet of flowers. This is our strength. I learn from the people of Tamil Nadu. I learn from the people of Rajasthan. I learn even from you. Every day I learn from you. I do. It's not funny. It's not funny. I learn from you. Right? It's not funny. Anyway, there is another vision. A vision that India can be ruled by a stick from the center. You people have no idea of history. Because every time it has been attempted, that stick has been broken and smashed. Now what is happening as a result of your flawed vision of the country? Two Indias are of course being created. Two Indias are of course being created. Speaker sir.
अध्यक्ष महोदय,
आप इधर आ सकते हो।
So what is happening? What is happening as a result of this flawed vision? Two Indias, उस पे भी बोलता हूं, उस पे भी बोल देता हूं, मैं उस पे भी बोल देता हूं, मैं इमरजेंसी में भी बोल देता हूं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मैं बोलने से नहीं डरता हूं,
आप उनका
मैं डरता नहीं, मैं बोलने से
आप
anyway. So there are two visions. One is a union of states, union of languages, union of cultures, a bouquet of beautiful flowers that can challenge any power in the world. No power in the world has ever been able to challenge this bouquet of flowers. Now, there is another vision, a centralizing vision, the vision of a king. The idea of a king, which the Congress removed in 1947. We smashed that idea of a king. Now that idea of a king has come back. That there is a king, a Shahin Shah, a ruler of rulers, a master of masters. Now what is happening? Now speaker sir, what is happening?
आप बीच में मत बोलिए।
Now speaker.
No, सबको।
Now speaker sir, what is happening as a result of this flawed vision? What is happening is that the instruments of the conversation between our states, the instruments of the conversation between our peoples, what we call the institutions of our country, are being attacked and captured by one idea. So for example, today The idea of Tamil Nadu is excluded from Indian institutions. They can keep coming to you again and again and again and again and saying need, and you will say no, get out of here. Right? They do not have a voice in your framework. The farmers of Punjab can stand up and say we do not agree with these 3 laws. They do not have a voice in your framework. Only the king has the voice. The farmers can sit for 1 year. They can sit for 1 year outside in Corona. They can die, doesn't matter. The king does not agree. You do not listen to anybody. And even all of you, my dear brothers and sisters in the BJP, I saw my Dalit colleague speak today, Paswanji. I saw him. Yes. He knows the history of the Dalits. He knows who has oppressed the Dalits for 3,000 years. And he is speaking with a hesitancy. He is speaking without. I am proud of him. I am proud of this gentleman. He has spoken to me what is in his heart. I am proud of this man. But he is in the wrong party. Don't worry, घबराइए मत.
नहीं, बीच में नहीं, तो बीच में थोड़ी बोलेंगे, बाद में. No.
Look, Speaker sir, I am a democratic person. I will allow him to speak.
ये सुनो एक मिनट, ये आप किसी को इजाजत नहीं दे सकते, ये अधिकार मेरा है. प्लीज बैठ जाइए. आप वो इजाजत दे सकते हैं क्या आसन को? वो इजाजत देने का अधिकार नहीं है. ये अधिकार आसन का है. किसको इजाजत देनी है, किसको नहीं इजाजत देनी, माननीय राहुल गांधी प्लीज बैठ जाइए. मैं दूंगा आपको मौका, मैं आपको मौका दूंगा.
So, Speaker sir. So, Speaker sir.
माननीय सदस्य प्लीज बैठिए, मैं आपको मौका दूंगा. बोलते रहे आप.
Speaker sir, so this confused ideology, this confused understanding of the nation of India is playing havoc with this country. And I'll give you examples. The judiciary, the election commission, Pegasus. These are all instruments of destroying the voice of the Union of States. When you apply Pegasus on an Indian politician, when the Prime Minister personally goes to Israel and authorizes the use of Pegasus in India, he is attacking the people of Tamil Nadu. He is attacking the people of Assam. He is attacking the people of Kerala. He is attacking the people of Bengal.
Point of order.
52-1. 350. Attack that you are carrying out on the institutional framework of this country is going to get a response from the Union of States. And you are fiddling. I understand this. You might not appreciate it. But my great-grandfather spent 15 years in jail building this thing. My grandmother was shot 32 times and my father was blown into bits. So I understand a little bit about what this country is. My blood has been sacrificed, not by me, by my great-grandfather, by my grandmother, by my father for this country. So I understand what it is. And you are fiddling with something very, very dangerous. And I am advising you, stop. Because if you do not stop, you will create a problem. You have already started creating the problem. The problem has already started in the northeast. The problem has already started in Tamil Nadu. You're not visible. It's not visible to you right now. Jammu Kashmir, which I will speak about, which is my third point. Now, what you're fiddling with is extremely dangerous, and it demonstrates a complete lack of understanding of history. Please, this evening, go back and look at all the empires that have ever ruled India. Look at them carefully. You will find that every single one of them is a union of states. There's not a single empire. There was a reason Ashok used to go and put his pillars everywhere. Because it was a union of states where Ashok, the great king, respected everybody. You are disrespecting everybody. Disrespect me, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But you cannot disrespect the people of this country. Right. Now final. And I think one of the more important parts of my speech. Actually, I want to say one other thing, which I demand an apology from the Home Minister. And this represents again the idea of a union of states versus the idea of a king. Now, a few days ago, some political leader, I'm not going to name, came to me from Manipur. And he was very agitated. I spoke to him, I said, why are you agitated, my brother? And he says, Rahul ji, I have never felt as insulted as I have a few days ago. I said, why? He said, Rahul ji, a delegation of Manipuris, political leaders, senior leaders went to see the Home Minister. Outside his house.
धर्म के ऊपर अटैक कर रहे हैं, भारत की धार्मिक परंपराओं पे अटैक कर रहे हैं, और ये हम सबकी धार्मिक परंपराओं के ऊपर आघात है। हमारे घर में भी यही है परिस्थिति।
Speaker sir, it reflects a mentality. It reflects a sense that I am bigger than you. You are nobody, I am everybody. That is why I will wear my shoes and you will not. Anyway, going back to the main point. Now, and the final most important point. My understanding is that the RSS and the BJP is playing with the foundations of our country. And they are weakening the foundations of our country. They are weakening the links between our people. They are weakening the links between our languages. Now, they have further weakened the country. They have further weakened the country by ensuring that not a single Indian youngster can get a job. So today, unlike a decade ago, 15 years ago, India is weak. Ask yourselves, why you were not able to get a guest on Republic Day. Ask yourself that question. Don't look surprised. Ask yourself that question. What is happening is that India today is completely isolated. We are completely isolated and surrounded. We are surrounded in Sri Lanka, Nepal, Burma, Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, everywhere we are surrounded. And our opponents understand our position. Please let me speak, because I'm saying something very serious, right? I'm saying something very serious. Let me say it. We have been weakened. The conversation between our people is not taking place. Our institutions are under attack, and we are completely surrounded. The Chinese have a very clear vision of what they want to do. They are very, very clear about what they want to do. And 1 second, please. The single biggest, you can ask anybody who understands, the single biggest strategic goal of India's foreign policy has been to keep Pakistan and China separate. This is fundamental for India. And what you have done is you have brought them together. Today, do not be under any illusion. Do not underestimate the force that is standing in front of you. Do not underestimate the power that stands in front of us. Do not underestimate it. You have brought Pakistan and China together, and this is the single biggest crime that you could commit against the people of India. China has a clear vision, and I can clearly see, without any confusion in my mind, that China has a plan. China has a plan. I can see without any doubt that the Chinese, please, we are all nationalists, so let us discuss properly. I can see that China has a clear-cut plan. The foundations of their plan have been put in place in Doklam and in Ladakh. Do not underestimate what we are facing. This is a very, very serious threat to the Indian nation. This is a very, very serious threat to the Indian nation.
Wake up.
We have made huge strategic mistakes in Jammu and Kashmir. We have made huge strategic mistakes in our foreign policy. And if we do not correct those mistakes, what are the mistakes? I have just told you. You have brought China and Pakistan together. You have brought China and Pakistan together. You have taken the concept of two different fronts and converted it into one unified front. And by the way, in case you haven't realized it, in case you haven't understood what's going on, it is very clear that the Chinese and the Pakistanis are planning. Look at the weapons that they are buying. Look at their activity. Look at the way they are talking. Look at who they are speaking to. I am clearly stating in the House of Parliament that we have made a massive blunder, and we need to make sure, absolutely sure, that we can defend ourselves against the Chinese. Please remember what I am saying, because the Chinese will act. Remember what I am saying, and remember that you will be responsible for anything that happens. That is why it is important that as a nation, we start this conversation. It is important as a nation that you listen to what we say, because we have experience, we have understanding. You might not think so, but we have people on this side who understand these things, have great understanding. Use us. Use us. I can see that some of you are understanding what I'm saying. I'm happy. I can see. So these are the 3 points I wanted to make today. The nation is now at risk. The nation is at risk. The nation is at risk from outside.
From inside.
The nation is at risk from inside. And that is a very dangerous place for a nation to be. And I don't like it. I am very uncomfortable with my nation, with my beloved country standing where it is standing. Completely isolated on the outside, fighting on the inside, institutions captured, states not able to speak to each other. This worries me. It frightens me for my country. And so that is why I thought it was important that I speak today. I know that many of you will just rubbish what I'm saying. I understand it. That's what you've been told to do. And I'm happy to let you do it. But remember what I said. You are putting this nation, this wonderful nation and its people at huge risk. Stop. Thank you.